Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to appear here today. My name is Vernon Stearns, President of the Intertribal Timber Council, for whom I am testifying for today. I'm also the Hazardous Fuels Program Manager for the Spokane Tribe located in eastern Washington State. First off, I want to thank the subcommittee for its support for timber tribes over the recent years. You've listened to our testimony and provided additional investments in Indian forestry, including in the current fiscal year. You have encouraged federal agencies to work more closely with tribes. All of these actions are appreciated, and I want you to know that the ITC is working with tribes across the nation to ensure that these investments deliver maximum results on the ground. For every dollar invested in tribal forests, $3 are generated. Timber is a renewable resource, and timber revenue helps tribes pay for every service they provide, from health care to elder support to education. Unfortunately, tribal forests are chronically underfunded. We receive $1 for every 3 that the Forest Service does on a per-acre basis. Both today and over the past 40 years, this has held down our timber sales to only half the volume in our approved plans, costing us jobs and revenue. In other words, a lack of federal appropriations is a primary barrier that's held down our timber harvest levels according to all environmental laws and standards. A $5 million increase in TPA forestry should add 67 foresters and increase our national tribal timber harvest by nearly 300 million board feet. For BIA forestry projects, we urge an increase of $5 million over current levels to help eliminate the BIA's thinning and replanting backlogs. These backlogs are long-term drags on our forest productivity. Tribes are also deprived access to rehabilitation funds after wildfire burns our lands. The government has a responsibility to recover burnt Indian lands, but we are provided only a small fraction of what's needed to get the new forest growing. Whatever doesn't get done is simply shifted to the ever-growing backlog for tribal lands. To prevent this, we ask that $10 million be provided from the burned area rehabilitation account to finish the work left over from the catastrophic 2015 wildfire season in the Pacific Northwest. In line with this administration's presidential executive order on promoting active management of federal lands to reduce wildfire risk, I ask for continued support of restoring Interior's Office of Wildland Fire Fuels Management funding to its FY 2010 level of $206 million. ITC also strongly supports the continuation of the $10 million Reserved Treaty Rights Landscape Funding Initiative within Interior's Fuels Management Program. Proactive reduction of hazardous fuels is a proven method that creates fire-adapted communities, enhances wildfire response, increases landscape resiliency, and is a sound investment that reduces the risk and cost of wildfires. I also want to thank the Congress for giving tribes several new authorities to work with federal partners such as the Forest Service. These tools include the Good Neighbor Authority and Tribal 638 contracting of Tribal Forest Protection Act projects, all of which will bring tribal expertise to improving forest health across the landscape. We would appreciate any encouragement you can give to federal land managers to quickly implement these new authorities and get tribes to work on both sides of our shared boundaries. Madam Chair and committee members, I will conclude by inviting you and your staff to come see Indian forestry in person. We are doing great things for the land and generating jobs and revenue for communities that direly need it. We do all of this at a fraction of the cost of other federal land managers and with greater results. On behalf of the more than 60 tribes that make up the Intertribal Timber Council, thank you for inviting me here to speak today. That concludes my statement.